Hey everyone and welcome. Today we're going to dive into something simple, but honestly so powerful, the practice of gratitude. We're going to see how one woman's life was completely turned around just by learning to say two tiny words, thank you. But first, let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually stopped what you were doing, took a real breath, and just felt grateful? It sounds simple, right? But if you really think about it, it might be harder to answer than you'd expect. So let's get into why that is. Okay, so to really get what this practice is all about, we're going to look at it through the eyes of Laura. She's an actress, a singer, and a yoga teacher. And for her, gratitude isn't just some fleeting feeling. It's a whole new way of seeing the world. I just love her definition here. It's so direct and so real. It's not about making a big show of it. It's about looking at what you have, truly appreciating it, and just feeling that quiet contentment deep in your heart. It's an inside job. And this, right here, is the key. For Laura, gratitude isn't something that just happens to you. It's an active decision you make. It's about consciously choosing to appreciate the people in your life, the opportunities you have, and even just the simple fact that you're here. You choose it again and again. So how did she get to this point? Well, her journey to a life filled with gratitude kicked off with a single, pretty small decision that just blew the doors open to a whole new world for her. It turns out her boyfriend at the time was a yoga teacher, and he kept insisting she should try a class. She'd never even done yoga before, didn't really know what it was, but she went with him, and that one class, she says it literally changed her life. And from that very first class, things just took off like a rocket. She didn't just dip a toe in, she did a full-on cannonball. She loved that first class, and then just 2 months later, she discovers acro yoga, gets taught some moves right then and there, and by the next week, bam, she's in a full workshop. She was totally hooked. But this wasn't just about finding a fun new hobby. For Laura, yoga started to become something way, way deeper. It really became the foundation of her entire lifestyle. And this is where it all clicks. See, yoga wasn't just something she did anymore. It became the lens she saw everything through. And woven into that new lifestyle was the one thing that changed it all, her gratitude practice. So here's the really important takeaway. This consistent daily practice actually started to rewire her brain. She says it trained her to automatically hunt for the positive things, to focus on all the amazing stuff she gets to experience every day. It's like building a new muscle. Now, of course, it's one thing to feel grateful when everything's going great. That's the easy part, right? But the real test, and where the real power is, comes when you're facing a challenge. How do you find gratitude in the middle of a struggle? Laura talks about something a lot of us can relate to. In the year before this story, she went through a really tough time with some of her personal relationships. And we all know how incredibly painful and draining that can be. But just listen to this perspective shift. Wow. Instead of holding on to the pain or the frustration, she completely reframed it. She chose to find the gratitude in it, to be thankful for the people who, even through all the difficulties, were still amazing and became great friends. Now that is gratitude in action. And because she focused on gratitude, she was able to pull these powerful lessons out of that hardship. She didn't just get through it, she grew from it. She learned these incredible things about communication, about love, and about just how important community really is. So, what's the takeaway for us? Well, Laura's story gives us a super clear, simple, and powerful blueprint that honestly anyone can use to get started. Let's break it down into a ritual you can actually do. All right, here it is, a super simple 3-step practice. First step, write it down. Every single day, list 3 things you're grateful for, even and especially on the days you don't feel like it. Step 2, find an anchor. Link this practice to something you already do every day, like making coffee or showering. That makes it automatic. And finally, step 3, say it out loud. In that anchor moment, just pause, take a deep breath, and actually say the words, thank you. This final thought from her is so powerful. Just the act of saying it out loud sends a ripple out into the world. You don't even have to know who you're thanking. You can just thank life. Because as she puts it, your life is listening. And really, that's what this all comes down to. Such a simple idea, but with huge implications. So I'll just leave you with this to carry with you. Your life is listening. So what are you going to thank it for today?